Freyberg, NeuGroup Senior Director of Peer Knowledge Exchange. Yesterday, April 6th, I had a meeting in downtown Manhattan with the NeuGroup for Large Cap Treasurers, the T30 Large Cap Edition as we call it. NeuGroup founder Joseph Noy promised another edition of his founders' takeaways from this meeting, but he is in Miami with our LATAM group, so instead of his takeaways, you'll get mine. Yesterday, the Large Cap Treasurers, sponsored by Deutsche Bank, had a few things on their minds. Tax reform under Trump, repatriation of offshore earnings, and success factors for frequent debt issuers. On tax reform, the goal for President Trump is to change the tax code to stop the offshoring of corporate America, as he puts it. The Deutsche Bank DCM strategy view is that comprehensive tax reform, essentially the Brady-Ryan plan, is unlikely to pass, and we're more likely to see some sort of a plan B with smaller tax cut and less reform. Any change at all, though, will work for you. Next, will there be a repatriation holiday like in 2004? Well, if there is one, it's not going to be optional like last time. The Brady-Ryan plan has a mandatory deemed repatriation with a one-time tax that hits higher for cash and lower for non-cash assets. So on tax reform, we really don't know what to expect yet, but be careful what you wish for. The bottom line on this is two things. If we get repatriation, you'll be under a lot of pressure, especially from your activist investors, to bring back cash and distribute to shareholders. Question is, what will that do to your capital structure ratios and credit rating, for example, and how will you mitigate that? My second point is, you need to develop a playbook now with your tax group for a bunch of different scenarios that you can get approval from senior levels already now, so you can take action when the tax code changes. Moving on, a few things for frequent bond issuers to think about. First, your book runners and investors prefer larger and fewer deals, but you need to balance that with your corporate needs. So what is the optimal size for you to borrow and what tenors? Second, don't be too predictable in the timing of your offerings. Investors could offload your previous debt, your other debt, in anticipation of a new issue. Having said that, there are of course a lot of reasons why corporates don't have unlimited windows for this kind of activity. And anyway, you don't want to be too unpredictable either. Investors don't like surprises, and good investor relations is all about managing expectations. Third, go on a non-deal roadshow every once in a while. That's where you can control the message and you can tell your story without having to be defensive about deal specifics. And finally, is there an ideal number of book runners? Yes, according to Deutsche Bank DCM, 3. That's how you get diversity of views, competition and accountability, and a tiebreaker. That's it for me today. Thank you to the Large Cap Treasurers Group. Thank you to Deutsche Bank. Signing off from New York, this is Anne Freyberg with the NeuGroup.